Good morning students. This is revision lecture for class 12th subject English, chapter number 3, Deep Water by William Douglas. Children, when I taught you this chapter in my lecture, I told you the complete summary and the all highlights I tried to cover in order to make you understand this chapter. As I will be planning test of this chapter very soon, therefore I want you to revise this lecture. This lecture introduces the story Deep Water. This is actually an autobiographical account of William Douglas' life. William Douglas had a fear of water, and when he was a boy, this fear started at California beach when he went with his father to enjoy the sea waves. And a heavy wave struck him down, and then his father started laughing because his father knew that wave would not hurt him or would not bring any harm to him. But that laugh of the father turned into a fear into the mind of Douglas. From that very day, Douglas had an aversion to water. He started hating water and he was afraid of going in any water sport activity. And then, due to his strong willpower, courage and hard work and firm determination, he tried to overcome the fear. He went under many phases in order to overcome the fear because he wanted to prove the proverbial truth, where there is a will, there is a way. And he proved it at last as well. But before proving this, he had to struggle hard in order to overcome the fear of water. Let's proceed to the chapter. The terror began at the age of 3 or 4 at the beach in California, when a heavy wave knocked the author down and swept over him. He had developed a terror of water since his childhood. He was 3 or 4 years old when he had gone to California with his father. One day on the beach, the waves knocked the child down and swept over him. The child was terrified, but the father, who knew there was no harm, laughed. The experience bred a permanent fear of water in the child's subconscious mind. When Douglas was 10 or 11 years old, he had decided to learn to swim. There was a pool at the YMCA in Yakima that exactly offered the opportunity to the learners. The people thought that the pool was safe for learners. It was only 2 or 3 feet deep at the shallow end, and while it was 9 feet deep at the other, the drop was gradual. So, the writer Douglas got a pair of water wings and went to the pool. Though he hated to walk, but he accumulated all of his courage and he went to the pool when there was no one. While sitting alone and waiting for others to come at the YMCA pool, a big bruiser means a powerful boxer, came and threw Douglas into deep end of the pool. He was sitting alone there by putting his legs into the water and waiting for others to come. Suddenly, he found there a big bruiser came who tossed Douglas into the deep end, and Douglas started landing in a sitting position. He got afraid because the boy, who knew no swimming at all, and in fact he had an aversion to the water, was tossed into the water where he was losing all his consciousness. Douglas had a long series of emotions while he was drowning in YMCA pool. Those 9 feet appeared like 90 to him. He tried to jump from the bottom, but his limbs wouldn't move at all. He was moving towards peaceful death as he became unconscious. When he reached the bottom, he tried to jump upward with all his strength. He came up, but very slowly. He tried to catch hold of something like a rope, but grasped only and only water. He tried to shout, but no sound came out and he went down again. His lungs ached, head throbbed, and he grew dizzy. He felt paralyzed with fear. All his limbs were paralyzed. Only the movement of his heart told him that he was alive. Again he tried to jump up, but this time his limbs would not move at all. He tried to look for ropes, ladders, and water wings, but all went in vain. Then he went down again. The third time, all his efforts and fear ceased. He was moving upward, and he thought as he was moving upward towards his peaceful death. And he decided that now there is no other option for him, therefore he would just rest in peace, the peace of meeting out his death. The misadventure at YMCA pool haunted him for years and years to come. It spoilt many of his expeditions and pleasures of water sports. Therefore, he was determined to conquer his terror. When after that misadventure at YMCA pool, he came to his consciousness, he found himself lying on the side of the pool with the boy nearby. The terror that he had experienced in the pool never left him. It haunted him for years and years to come. And he felt very bad when he found other children having different water sports. He wanted to go for swimming, fishing, canoeing, etc. But due to this terror of water, he could not enjoy any of the water sport activity. Therefore, he decided that he would try to overcome this fear in order to make his life meaningful and enjoyable. Therefore, he became very much determined that from then onwards, he would start working on overcoming the fear. Douglas, after being determined, hired an instructor to conquer his terror. He took help from the instructor to learn it. The instructor taught him various actions piece by piece. He put a belt around him and released him into the water. But he could not learn it over a night. Therefore, the instructor took months. A rope was attached to the belt, went through a pulley that ran on an overhead cable. The instructor held on the end of the rope, and then Douglas went back and forth across the pool, hour after hour, day after day, week after week. On each trip across the pool, a bit of the panic seized him. Each time, the instructor relaxed the hold on the rope and he went under. Some of the old terror returned and the author's legs froze. It was 3 months before the tension began to slack. Then, the instructor taught him to put his face under water and exhale, and to raise his nose and inhale. He repeated this exercise hundreds of times. Bit by bit, he shed part of the panic that seized him when his head went under water. Thus, piece by piece, the instructor built a swimmer, and when he had perfected each piece, he put them together into an integrated whole. In April, finally, the instructor declared him a swimmer. He told Douglas that he could swim now all alone, he could dive off, and he could swim the length of the pool. He could crawl strokes. He was taught different strokes by the instructor, and finally, the instructor was finished and declared him a swimmer. Though the instructor declared him a swimmer, William Douglas wanted to make himself sure for it. He was not finished, so he decided to go to Lake Wentworth in New Hampshire. He dived off a dock at Triggs Island and swam 2 miles across the lake to Stamp Act Island. He swam the crawl, breaststroke, side stroke, and backstroke. Then he realized his old terror came back to him when he was in the middle of the lake. But he did not lose his courage. He put his face under and saw nothing but bottomless water. The old sensation returned in miniature, but he laughed at it and he said, "Well, Mr. Terror, what do you think you can do to me?" Then he realized that his old terror fled and he swam on. Lake Wentworth experience taught him a deep meaning. And there he shouted with joy because he found as if he had conquered that old terror. He had conquered the fear of water. The experience had a deep meaning for him, as only those who have ever known stark terror and conquered it can appreciate. He realized there is peace in death only. There is terror only in the fear of death. He realized if he really wants to enjoy his life, that is the end of his life, that is death. And he had experienced both the sensation of dying and the terror that fear of it can produce. The will to live somehow grew in intensity. Then he remembered the words of Roosevelt. All we have to fear is fear itself. And he became overjoyed with the feeling that yes, he had conquered his fear of and terror of water, and he had become a perfect swimmer. Now, like any other boy of his age, he could enjoy all the water sports activities, and he would be confident enough in order to compete those boys. Now children, let's proceed to the revision assignment based on chapter 3 deep water, which is just revised. Children, these are the questions which I have written in this revision assignment, and you people are supposed to answer these questions on the basis of understanding this chapter. And I give you one complete day to solve this revision assignment, as well as you have Saturday and Sunday to prepare for the test of lesson 2 Lost Spring and lesson 3 deep water. I repeat, there will be a combined test to be conducted on Monday of lesson 2 Lost Spring and lesson 3 deep water of your book Flamingo. Thank you. Prepare hard.